Dear friends and the viewers, again, I'm just welcoming you to another international reading of poetry by the international poets. So today, it's a very special session we are just going to organize. And that is, in fact, the poets will read love poems. And this program is organized by Association of World Writers and Tirundaj International Multilingual Literary Magazine. So I'm inviting you on behalf of these two organizations. And it's a very special international poetry reading session, I have already told you, because the poets are just going to read love poems only. And we have 5 poets with us. In fact, at the moment, yes, we have 5 poets with us. And they are Alicja Kubreska from Poland, Mladen Tokic from Bosnia-Herzegovina, but originally he's from Croatia, and at the moment living in Bosnia-Herzegovina. And then Caroline Laurent Turunk. I don't know the pronunciation, the last name of her pronunciation I did correctly or not. So Caroline is from Turkey, but at the moment she is living in France. Then we have the poet, already you know her. Our regular viewers could recognize her because she appeared before to our other programs. And she is Anna Maria Stepien from Poland. And in fact, she is representing Association of Writers, Association of World Writers. Today, this evening, she will represent from that organization. And last, we have a very young poet from Spain, very young but talented poet. He is Alberto Moreno Bustos.
Thank you so much.
Bustos is the youngest poet here tonight. So, okay, and what I need to tell you that the Tokic and Caroline, they cannot in fact speak in English, but they understand. And you know that internationally, when we organize any program, language should not bother us. We have to cross this barrier, cross this problem. We need to overcome this problem. But sometimes for communication, we need a common language, and that may be English, of course, I know. So, Alicja Kubreska, no need to introduce now, later, I will, when they will read their poems, before that I'll tell something about them. And I will ask them to introduce themselves. That will be more better, because sometimes I can miss something, but they will not miss their introductory information. So first, I just want to go to Mladen Tokic to read his poems, but I need to introduce him as because his English is not good, and you will not understand, the viewers, you will not understand well about him if he speaks. So I need to tell myself about him. I'm introducing him to you. In short, of course, and here I got the But okay, I'm just reading from email from email from an email he sent me. Mladen M. Tokic was born in 1953 in the town of Maglas, Bosnia and Herzegovina. Since 1961, his residence has been the city of Tuzla, Bosnia. He loved and wrote poetry from an early age and published his poems in the former state of Yugoslavia, mainly in magazines for literature and art. Today, he is represented with his poems in several books, collections of international poetry around the world. He has not yet published his first independent individual book, mainly for financial reasons. Since poetry, as Mladen says, is his way of life, he expects it to happen soon, and he just lives with poetry and literature. In addition to poetry, Mladen writes prose and plays. He's a journalist, but at the moment, that means nowadays, and he's in fact a pensioner and just living his life with poetry, literature, with these things. So I'm welcoming Tokic to our program, and I'll ask him to read his poems in, of course, in Bosnian and Herzegovinian language. So, Tokic, would you please read your poems? Read, please, your poems.
Yes. Kada sunce spava, tako se zove pjesma. Tebi ljubavi, što šapatom se čuješ, dok ljubiš slobode moj glas, kaži glasno misao da čujem, bat koraka tvoga srca šum. Oživi u meni najljepšu bol, u ponoć kada sunce spi, razbi suzu od stakla, prospi zvijezde po nebu, u pjesmama ti me raspni, poput zvijeri da se skrijem, da snijem, da plačem, da se spijem u tebi ljubavi, pijan od boli, kada sunce spi, da se napije.
Bravo.
Please read another poem. Read.
Druga pjesma je Ljubav od svijeća, tako se zove. Da imam djevojku koju mogu da zovem u ovo doba noći, kada sve spava, da umije da sanja, da poznaje tišinu od tajstva noći, u kojoj magla krije tragove sjenke zločina prvih poljubaca spavača od kamena. Da imam djevojku koju smijem da zovem na pitu od jabuka, na tortu od badema, na ljubav od svijeća, na rođendan moje majke, na krštenje djeteta, na propast svijeta. Samo imam djevojku koju mogu da sanjam u ovo doba noći kada sve spava, kamen, drvo, trava, a tišina slobodna naraste kao rijeka. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Tokic. Now I'm just reading the English translation of his poems. So 2 poems he read, and now I'm just following with the English translation. When the Sun Sleeps. The title of the poem is When the Sun Sleeps. To you, love, why are you whispering? When you're kissing the freedom of my voice, say it out loud. Thought, let me hear the sound of footsteps, the murmur in your heart, revive in me the most beautiful pain at midnight when the sun sleeps. Break the glass tear, scatter the stars in the sky. In your poems, crucify me like a beast to hide myself. I want to cry and dream and love. If you, my love, in you, my love, drunk with pain, when the sun sleeps, to get a drunk. This is the first poem, really, very nice poem. And just I want to speak more about this poem. In fact, there is an environment at night, and he says the sun sleeps, but he is recalling, the poet is recalling his lover. And some images are really remarkable and amazing. Like this, the sound of footsteps, the murmur in your heart, revive in me the most beautiful pain. So it's not a poem, a love poem of just getting something, but losing something. It is, in fact, such a good poem like this. And he made this poem beautifully. Like another just image or the picture depicted in this poem, I want to mention. Like this, at midnight when the sun sleeps, break the glass tear, scatter the stars in the sky. So these sort of images or picture, in fact, is the beauty of this poem. So pain and love, in fact, sometimes they go together side by side. If there is love, there may be pain. This is a very much universal emotion. So, in you, my love, drunk with pain, but drunk with pain. This sort of thinking really good for a poet. I'm just reading the second poem, that translation I'm reading. Love, the title of the poem is Love from Candles. Love from Candles. If I had a girlfriend, which I can call all this time of night, when everyone's asleep, who will be able to dream and experience the silence of the mystery of the night, in which the fog hides traces, shadows of crime, the first kisses of the stone sleeper. If I had a girlfriend, which I can call on apple pie, on an almond cake, to a love from candles, on my mother's birthday, at the baptism of a child, to the ruin of the world. If only I had a girlfriend at this time of night, what I can dream about when everyone's asleep, stone, wood, and grass, and the silence free. It grows like a river. Really, it's also a very good poem.
Thank you very much.
Because some images and some lines are very striking, and he just prefers to write his poems making the environment of night that I saw in the previous poem and also in this poem. And it starts with without having a girlfriend. Like this, if I had a girlfriend, not I have a girlfriend. So this is really also a poem, a good poem of love and the emotion for lover. So thank you very much, Tokit, for reading your wonderful 2 poems. And
Thank you so
to
much.
whom now I can go? Maybe now I can go to Kupreska. I'm not getting her now because, okay, her connection sometimes goes off. Yes, now she's back. Sometimes Kupreska's connection doesn't work well. So no problem. Kupreska will go and come again. It will happen maybe many times in this program. Okay. Thank you, Kubriska. You're back now again. So now I want to go to Caroline. Caroline,
Ah, ok. Ok.
please read the poems. Yeah.
D'abord, je vous remercie beaucoup, beaucoup, franchement, pour cette occasion. Au plus, je veux féliciter toutes les femmes du monde entier et pour 8 mars. Ben seni seversem nefesin tükenir. Saçların nisan yağmurları gibi iner. Gökyüzü ikiye bölünür. Dünya uyanır. Yüzyıllar boyunca mevsimler çalkalanır. Ben seni seversem mesafeler biter. Öfke biter. Ben seni seversem bir dilde seveceğim. Dünya bir dil, bir vatan olur. Ben seni seversem cennet cehennem bir olur. Bu da imkansız olduğunu biliyorsun. Ben seni seversem güney ve kuzey bir olur. Ve ben seni seversem toprak için savaşacak hiçbir mazeret kalmaz. Dünya tek bir ceset dahi kabul etmeyecek. Anneler ağlamayacaklar. Bütün insanlık kardeşçe birbirlerini sevecek. Ben seni seversem adaletsizliğe, zorbalığa direnen bir devrimci gibi severim. Aşkların bir biletle satıldığı bu dünyada imkansızlıklara isyan edip kendimi savunacağım. Merci. Ça, c'est le premier poème. Alors,
Yeah, I want to say something to my viewers. আমার প্রিয় দর্শক, আমি বাংলায় বলি আপনাদেরকে, আজকের অনুষ্ঠানটা হচ্ছে এমন একটি বিশেষ অনুষ্ঠান যেখানে কবিরা তারা প্রেমের কবিতা পড়ছেন এবং 5জন কবি আজকে 5জন কবিকে আমি আমন্ত্রণ জানিয়েছি এবং তারা প্রেমের কবিতা পড়ছেন এবং এই যে কবি ক্যারোলাইন লরেন্ট তুরুং তিনি কিন্তু প্রকৃতপক্ষে তুরস্কের কবি।
oui,
তুরস্কের কবি কিন্তু
Turkish orange.
এখন হ্যাঁ তুরস্কের কবি এবং ওর লেখার ভাষাটা হচ্ছে আরবি এবং টার্কিশও মেশানো একটা ভাষা এবং এই মুহূর্তে ক্যারোলাইন আছেন হচ্ছে ফ্রান্সে এবং ফরাসি ভাষাতেই মূলত কথা বলেন, আমাদের সঙ্গে ফরাসি ভাষাতেই কথা বলছেন, যে কমিউনিকেট করছেন। তো আমি নিজেও ফরাসি ভাষা জানি না, কিন্তু কিছুটা শিখেছিলাম একসময়, কিছু কিছু বুঝি। তো ক্যারোলাইন প্রথম কবিতাটা পড়লো এবং সেই কবিতাটা আরবি ভাষায় লেখা। তো ক্যারোলাইনকে বলবো যে দ্বিতীয় কবিতাটি পড়তে, তারপরে আমি ওর কবিতার দুটো কবিতারই ইংরেজি অনুবাদ পড়বো। তো ক্যারোলাইন, প্লিজ গো ahead for the next poem.
Ok, le deuxième, ok. Ey uçarken düşen ve ölen kelebek, aysız gecelerin her tanığı gibi. Şimdi yine sıcak kar yağıyor, kalbimde yağmur gibi. Bu kadar sıcak bir kış mı? Yoksa ben yaşlı mıyım? Aynalara bakacak vaktim yoktu. Yağmurlu karanlık bir düşünceden ormanın kükremesine uyandım. Ama ben kötü bir kadın değilim. Kar altında ezilmiş değilim. Ormanda dolaşan anahtar varken çok kar yağıyor ve hafifler tükendi. Yaşadığımız günlerde kar yağdığında. Umutsuzluk her zaman etrafımızı sarmıştı. Gündemde kıtlık. Her şey ne sıcak ne de güzeldi. O karanlık aysız geceler bile doyumsuzdu. Bu 1000 yıldan fazla bir gecenin kompozisyonuydu. Bu 1000 yıl sürmesi planlanan karın ağrısıydı. Genç bir yetişkin derinden yayılır. Bütün kaderin duysam da sevmesem de sevmiyorum zaten. Bu şiir kara aşk türünden yazılmıştır. O kadar kar yağdı ki elim soğuktu. Ruhum seni düşündüğünde üşüyordum. Bir aşk kar yağışından geliyorum ben. Karanlık aysız bir geçmişten, karansız bir ay geçmişten geliyorum ben. Sonsuzluğa doğru düşüp ölmeyen bir geçmişten geliyorum. Merci beaucoup.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Caroline.
C'est moi,
And
je vous
she
remercie
read
beaucoup.
she read her 2 poems in Arabic language, and now I'll follow with the translation, English translation, of course.
Tout à
But
fait.
I want to congratulate, or I want to greet one of our viewers from Pakistan. She is Anjum Wasindar. Anjum, thank you very much for watching our program. And I hope that one day I will get you and you will come to read your poems. Anjum says that a great work, greetings from Pakistan. Here is the message from Anjum. Great work, greetings from Pakistan.
Pakistan.
So she is just watching from Pakistan. And another message she sent, Tirundas, congrats for this wonderful program. Thank you very much, Anjum, and I hope that you will continue to watch it. And in future, I hope that I will get you. Okay, and now I'm just going to read the translation in English. The first translation, I'm not getting the title of the poem, but I'm just reading it, the poem. Oh, butterfly that fell and died while flying, like every witness of moonless nights. Now it's snowing, hot again, like the rain in my heart. Is it such a hot winter, or are we old? We didn't have time to look in the mirrors. From a rainy dark thought, I woke up to the roar of the forest. But I am not a blind omen, crushed under the snow when there are memories wandering in the forest. It's snowing a lot, and the letters are out. When it snows in the days we live, despair has always surrounded us. Famine on the agenda. Everything was neither hot nor beautiful. Even those dark, moonless nights were insatiable. This is the composition of a night over 1,000 years. Abdominal pain that is scheduled to last for this millennium. A young adult spreads deeply. Even though I heard all your grief, I didn't love it. This poem was written in the genre of black love. It snowed so much that my hand was cold. When my soul thinks of you, I'm not cold. I come from a snowfall of love, a dark moonless past. This is the first poem, and it is also, that the love is not cold. It is very hot, and snowfall of love is not true. That means coldness doesn't match with love. It is always hot. and emotion is very high. Emotion inclined with the love is very high. Okay, now I'm going to read the second poem. If I love you, you would be out of breath. Your hair would fall like the rains in the April. Very wonderful image, the beginning of this poem I'm getting. Like this: if I love you, you would be out of breath. Your hair would fall like the rains in April. The sky would be split in two. Earth would wake up. The seasons over the centuries would coincide. If I love you, the distance would be over. The anger would be over. If I love you, I will love you in a language. The world would become a language, a homeland. If I love you, heaven and hell would rise. You know, it's impossible too. If I love you, east and west, south and north would become one. If I love you, they have no excuse to fight for the land. The world will not accept a single dead body, and mothers will not cry. All of humanity would be brothers and sisters, because if I love you, I would love you as a revolutionary who resists injustice and tyranny. In this world where love is sold with tickets, I will rebel against all the impossible and stand up for myself. Oh, wonderful poem. It's a poem of love and humanity. You understood the viewers well, I hope so. And in fact, strong voice of a lover of humanity we get in this poem from Caroline Laurent Turum.
Merci
She's
beaucoup
a
à vous.
wonderful poet, and she writes, in fact, good poems. And here today we have heard two poems, particularly the second one, or the last one, which I have just read, the translation. It is really a nice poem, and it has a global approach for peace, harmony, and humanity. So thank you very much, Caroline.
C'est
for your
moi,
two
merci beaucoup.
poems you have just
Merci beaucoup.
presented. Okay, and our other guests, they're here. So now, can I ask something to the youngest poet here tonight? We got to pass some comments on the poems of Caroline, and also on the poems of Tokic. Can you tell me something, Alberto?
Oh, all right. Yeah, because you've been talking about the youngest poems, like the youngest poet. That's me, all right. I don't know. I've been hear your poem is beautiful. It's beautiful to hear the language before, because at the end poetry is written in one language. But also when I understand the poem after, thanks to you, it's like I don't know. Sorry.
It's okay. So Kubreska, can I ask you something to tell? Yeah, you unmute your mic.
I
Yes,
am not.
okay.
Yes, I unmuted myself.
Yeah, it's okay now. You could just speak.
I'm not a literary critic, and it's very hard to judge poems, but I like poems, especially writer from Bosnia and Herzegovina, because they are very romantic in mood, and they have big imagination. And the poet from poetess from Turkey writes very nice too, but in different style. But I like both writers.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. I got the what you have said, that you liked their poems, and particularly it's romantic. You have just said that Tokic writes
Yes,
romantic poems. Yes, romantic love we get from his poems, and from Caroline, we got something more than romanticism, not only limited with lovers. It is more wider perspective. She prefers for writing any sort of poem. It may be love poem or maybe not, but she thinks the humankind, or she thinks the world people must be united, or must be peace in the world, and her loving approach is different. Okay, thank you very much, the two poets again, Caroline and Tokic.
Merci beaucoup. Merci, moi
Yes,
aussi. Merci à tout le monde.
I will ask something later. First, let us hear the poems from the poets. Now, just I want to go to Anna Maria, and in fact, she is representing the Association of World Writers. So I want to ask her to tell something about this organization. Okay, I have muted you. Sorry, Anna. And now you will speak about the Association of World Writers. So I want to say something to the viewers, that it is an organization of writers, world writers, poets, fiction writers, or any sort of writing. If anybody does, he or she could be the member of this organization. So would you please explain a little more? By 2 minutes, I want to ask you to say something about this organization. Anna,
So,
in fact, representing this organization. Yes, please.
In our Association of World Writers, we welcome all poets, writers, prose writers, essayists from all continents. You are welcome here. And this is a platform where we can discuss the problems of publishing, where we can think of organizing such meetings, live camps, publishing books too in the future, anthologies. And I think that many of us now, we know each other a lot, because I know many of these people in this association, and we are like friends. I think there is really friendly atmosphere and great authors. And everybody may come who writes, join us from different countries. So
okay, thank you very much.
That's it.
Anna told that it's a platform, it's a global platform of writers, and any writer can be the member of this group and of this organization, and they were working for writers, their problems. Maybe it is a problem of publishing books or publishing their poems or writings, but they are working for the writers. Okay, thank you very much, Anna. And later I will ask you to read, or maybe now you can read your poems. Please, would you please read your poems? Are you ready?
Okay, first in Polish. Ready, steady,
Yes.
go. 3, 2, 1. In Polish first. Ogród miłości. The Garden of Love. W ogrodzie miłości na cudownych, barwnych rabatach kwitną wonne kwiaty, róże pąsowe jak kochające serce, frezje żółte, czerwone, błękitne jak błękit letniego nieba. Błyszczą jasno i uszczęśliwiają tych, którzy je mijają. Błyszczą i do słońca się uśmiechają. Każdego dnia ogrodnik przychodzi, troskliwy i cierpliwy. Każdego dnia czarza ze swoimi stokrotkami, różami i słodkimi frezjami. Walcząc z chwastami, wodą ze źródeł służy, z rzeki czystej, z zimnego, ożywczego, górskiego strumienia, ale dnia pewnego ogrodnik ten kochający i miły zapomniał. A może tylko był chory? Co naprawdę się stało, tego nie wiemy. Lecz wiemy, jak te biedne kwiaty czują się teraz. Czekają z utęsknieniem, by zobaczyć i usłyszeć mistrza swojego, ukochanego, spragnione i złaknione więdną, wciąż czekają, a dookoła ziemia sucha, spękana i ci, którzy je mijają, w ich smutne twarze spoglądają z prawdziwą odrazą, zaskoczeni, zdziwieni. Takie były piękne kiedyś. And in English, Garden of Love. In the Garden of Love, on the wonderful, colorful flower beds, fragrant flowers bloom. Red roses of a loving heart's hue, freesias yellow, red and blue, blue like summer sky azure, shining bright, they make happy passers-by, shining, smiling to the sun. Every day a gardener comes, carrying one patient one. Every day he spends his time with his daisies, roses, freesias sweet, fights with weeds, serves with water from the springs, from the river clean, cold, refreshing mountain stream. But one day, this gardener, loving, nice, forgot, or maybe sick he was. What really happened, we don't know. We know, however, how these poor flowers are feeling now, longing and craving to see and hear the master dear, thirsty and hungry, wilting, still waiting, dry earth around, and passers-by looking at their faces with real disgust, surprised, astonished. Such beautiful flowers they once were. That was the first poem. And the second one is antidote, like antidotum in Polish. Byłeś mi lekiem, chwilę ciemną, radością, szczęściem, antidotum na melancholię czarną, nieprzyjemną, co to jak robak moją duszę od wewnątrz toczy, zakrywając łaski i barwy tego świata. A życia nić codziennie muszę na nowo przecież chwytać w dłonie i mocno trzymać, bo mam dla kogo żyć, bo marzeń, mocy, ideałów, które bez przerwy nieustannie gonię. Świat pokazałeś inny, we dwoje szczęściej doceniłeś, co we mnie dobre. Nie jesteś ty niczemu winny, że los zmartwienia ziaren sypnął w oczy. Razem wytrwamy, zwyciężymy. Jeśli pozwolisz na to razem, wtedy obawy wszelkie znikną. To nic, że teraz nadszedł czas, gdy los wciąż z nas sobie tak bardzo kpi, sprawdza nas, mówi walcz. Ty w siebie wsłuchaj się, nie martw się, tańcz do rytmu twego własnego serca, w którym melodia najpiękniejsza, nuty sama pasja pisze i z pasją wraz to ziemskie życie, w którego piękno wierzę skryć. And in English, antidote. You are my medicine, most joyous antidote for melancholy unpleasant black, which like a worm inside my soul keeps biting, covering the glows and hues of the world, and the life's thread every day I must catch into my hands and hold it tight, 'cause there are those who count on me, 'cause there are dreams and ideals which I still chase and chase and chase. You showed to me a different world, happiness together. appreciate what's good in me. For what are you to be blamed? That the fade bat into the eyes throws the grains of anxiety. Together, here we will win. You allow for this togetherness, then all the fears will disappear. It doesn't matter that now the time has come when the fate is mocking us so much and testing us, telling, fight, you listen to yourself, don't worry, dance to your own heart's beating, in which sweetest melody is playing, where passions themselves write the notes, and along with passions, this life alive, believed secretly. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you very much. Thank
the
you very
end.
much, Anna. Yes. Thank you very much for reading your two wonderful poems, La Poems. So, may I ask Kubreska to comment on her poems, because they are both from Poland, and they could understand their language better. They understand better than us.
Yes, of course.
So
Anna is very romantic, and she is much younger than I am, so her point of view is quite different, because love in my age is different than love in the age of young woman. So she's very romantic, and her poems are full of metaphors, and she's very, how to say, she's focused on beauty.
Okay, thank you very much, Kubreska. Kubreska may not be a critic, but she is an editor, wonderful editor, and she edited many anthologies in Romania, in Polish language. So, and also she translates poems from maybe from English to Polish language, or maybe from other languages. She translated, in fact, I know that. So thank you very much, Kubreska, for your generous comment on Anna's love poems. So now I just want to go to poet. In fact, I want to ask Kubreska to read her poems. Yes. And then at last I will ask Bustos to read his poems. Yes.
Okay.
Thank
so
you.
I will read first in Polish. Portret róży. Na sztalugach zagrał symfonią kolorów obraz. Z plamek i linii wyłoniła się postać dziewczyny. Samotnej róży z planety Małego Księcia. Malarz zatrzymał pędzlem piękno. Długą kreską podkreślił łagodny łuk wysmukłej szyi, miękkość okrągłych piersi. Promienie słońca wplótł w niesforne kosmyki włosów opadających ciężką kaskadą czerni. Na wilgotnych ustach zakwitły pocałunki namiętną czerwienią. W półprzymkniętych oczach błyszczało szczęście. Złote kropelki radości zawieszone w błękicie. Miłość i pasja w cierniowej koronie tworzą arcydzieła. Now in English. Portrait of Rose. The picture played a symphony of colors on easels. The figure of the girl emerged from spots and lines. She was a lonely rose from the planet of the little prince. The painter retained her beauty with a brush. He underlined with a long line a gentle curve of a slender neck and softness of her round breasts. He wove the rays of the sun into unruly strands of hair, falling in a heavy cascade of blackness. Kisses blossomed passionate on her wet lips, and in half-closed eyes happiness shone, the golden droplets of joy suspended in blue. Love and passion in a crown of thorns create masterpieces. And now the second poem. This poem is tribute for my friends. It's about their last holidays. He died because of cancer. Holiday picture. Pixels like grains of sand petrified. They stop time. You wave your hand and try to smile to the lens. But we both know that you will never be older. White wind let the thoughts soar to the sky. They touched the bloody sunset over the sea. The foamed waves blurred the tracks of bare feet with fury. How strange! I don't remember much of those moments. I jumped deliberately into option as into the abyss. Death by forgetfulness allows me to continue living. The sorrow for the past is hidden in the album of unfashionable black and white photos. The memory of happiness is imprisoned in the frame. Zdjęcie z wakacji. Piksele jak ziarenka piasku skamieniały, zatrzymały czas. Machasz ręką i starasz się uśmiechnąć do obiektywu, ale obydwoje wiemy, że nie będziesz już starszy. Dziki wiatr pozwolił poszybować myślom ku niebu. Dotknęły krwawego zachodu słońca nad morzem. Spienione fale z furią rozmyły ślady bosych stóp. Jakie to dziwne. Niewiele pamiętam z tamtych chwil. Skoczyłam z premedytacją w niepamięć, jak w przepaść. Śmierć przez zapomnienie pozwala dalej żyć. W albumie przechowuję żal za przeszłością. Zdjęcia w niemodno-czarno-białej konwencji. Wspomnienie o szczęściu uwięziłam w ramce. Thank you.
Bravo.
You're mute. You're mute.
Sorry. Can I ask now Anna to pass her comment about Kubreska's poems?
So in the first poem, The Portrait of Rose, Alicia paints with words, we can see the girl from the painting. The mouth, kisses. The picture is very vivid in this poem. So when we read this poem, when we listen to this poem, we can see this girl, beautiful girl, happy because in love, maybe for sure in love. And in the second poem, the first poem is lovely, and it won first place on some platform, I know, The Portrait of Rose. And the second poem is dedicated to some friend who lost her husband, and the friend reminds her husband the last holidays and the happy moments. So this is also about love and what we can do after we lose the beloved one. Also a very nice poem, and when I first read it, I couldn't read between the lines what this is about. I didn't know what is behind the poem, about whom, but now I know. And so Alicia's poems are not so easy to decipher. You have to read between the lines.
Yes, thank you very much, Anna. In fact, Alicia's poems, if you read what I thought I read before, that you will get the in-depth emotion is there. Always in-depth emotion you will find out in her poetry. So she's a wonderful poet from Poland. So now just I want to show some comments from the viewers, and maybe one viewer, she or he says, I couldn't see the name, but I'm just seeing that Facebook user. As Facebook user, I'm just seeing this name. It is not in fact a name, but she or he says, hello, my dear friend Alisa Kubreska. Good to see you reciting live. So would you please tell your name? What's your name? Then we can just mention it. if you say who you are, just mention your name, because it is anonymous now.
Yes.
So for that reason, please here, just type your name in the comment box. Okay, another viewer, and maybe she was my student once at the university. Tripti Poddar, and probably now, so far I know that she is living in the United States. So Tripti, if you are really my student, so you can just mention it, then I could feel more better that my student is watching this program. They're watching this live program. Okay, then another viewer, he says, his
Hello.
name is Motiur Jisan. He is just telling hello and nothing else. Motin, I ask you to please, you may comment more, and that will be good for us to see. And another two viewers, also, there is no name, great move. Thank you very much. And another person, he commented that, hi everyone. Yeah, hi to you, Saidul. His name is Saidul Mustafa in English, if I just, his name is in fact Saidul Mustafa. It is written in Bangla here. And also another comment like this, unknown to us. Greetings from Jakarta to all. Oh my God. That's good. You are watching from Jakarta. Thank you very much. Would you please comment? Would you please put your name in the comment box so that your friends, if are here, that they can recognize you. But nice to hear from you. That's good. Okay, now just I want to go to our last poet tonight. And I already told you that he is a wonderful poet from Spain. He writes in Spanish. Oh, so far, I should introduce other poets. I forget it. That I forgot. Like Anna, she is from Poland, and she writes in Polish language, but she's a translator also. And at the moment, she is preparing to publish her first book and writing poems in both. Sometimes she writes, I think, first in English, then maybe Polish, and maybe first in Polish, then in English. So for this way,
Yes.
she writes to and fro in between two languages. Okay, Anna. She is Anna. I introduced you. And Kupreska, I already told you that she is a very renowned poet and very eminent, one of the eminent poets from Poland. And she, just a few days before, she got a prize from the Polish Cultural Ministry for her achievement as a poet. Yes, she is an award-winning poet, as well as a prize winner, winners of many prizes she got. And that is wonderful. So far, I think, as a poet, her achievement is really amazing. And she also translates poems from different languages, and also edited many anthologies of Polish poetry, bilingual, of course, sometimes, or maybe sometimes only in Polish language. But she is also very famous for editing poetry books. And I was just telling her that she so popular around the world that many programs, they just invite her to read her poems. And in the coming days, she will be involved or will be in some other programs like this one. So, and I already told you about Tokic, and also Caroline. So now I'm just going to our last poet, that is the very talented poet from Spain, and she's really a nice
Yes.
guy, and she is Alberto Moreno Bustos from Spain. And Bustos, welcome to our program. And would you please
Thank you.
read your poems?
Thank you for your word. I'm now feeling so embarrassed and and all right. I think I would prefer to read the poem before in English and after in Spanish so it could be understood. All right. I'm gonna start with a poem who's called Distance, where I wrote during the quarantine. Who's crack between two platforms. That silver in the open cracks of the skin were cold and air. Sorry, it's difficult for me to read in English, so I'm gonna restart. Crack between two platforms that shivers in the open cracks of the skin, where coal and air meets ships. They do not expect the sound of the springs. 2 meters away, without modes to spin paths, nor hardness or frost in the bed of the petals. The bodies cry out the shirts of the clouds, on island without maps that hits the bottle. Hunger forfeits its legacy of ash. No one knows where the hummingbirds will return, to build nests of times in our hands, where sails and butterflies can dream. There are still traces of dust in the bowers, without remands where flags find the daring of fire. And now I will read in Spanish. Distancia. Resquicio entre dos andenes que tirita en las grietas abiertas de la piel, donde el frío y el aire encuentran barcos que no esperan los muelles. 2 metros de distancia sin bocas donde hilar caminos, ni caricias de escarcha en el lecho de los pétalos. Los cuerpos claman la sed de las nubes, en islas sin mapa que se encuentran en botellas. El hambre cumple su legado de ceniza. Nadie sabe cuándo volverán los colibríes a construir nidos de tiempo en nuestras manos, donde puedan soñar crisálidas y mariposas. Aún quedan restos de polvo en las entrañas, sin retales donde las banderas encuentren la osadía del fuego. And I will read my second poem, a very, very short poem. It was called Dance. She danced between roots of rain while singing, turning on the last corner of the sphere. She loud between piles of water while dancing in the last letters of the word. She dreamed on our last frontier. And now in Spanish, baile. Ella baila entre raíces de lluvia, mientras canta, prendida en la última esquina de la esfera. Ella ríe entre pedazos de agua, mientras baila en las últimas letras de la palabra. Ella sueña en nuestra última frontera. Gracias.
Okay, thank you very much, Alberto Moreno Bustos. What is your nickname? Is it Alberto or Bustos?
In Spain, we don't use our surname, so it's Alberto.
Alberto.
It's
Okay.
not-
Thank you very much. And I was just telling about some comments, and there, in fact, the names I got: Edis Brown, Emmanuel. He commented that great move, Emmanuel. Thank you very much, Emmanuel. And then Edith Bahar from Indonesia, Jakarta. He commented, or she commented, in fact, Edith Bahar. Thank you very much, Edith Bahar. And then Eden Trinidad from Philippine, probably, right? Kubreska, is she from Philippine? Okay, you're
Yes, I know her personally. I met her in India.
she is known to you and you were friends.
Yes,
I knew
yeah.
it. Okay, thank you very much also, Trinidad, for passing your comments and watching this program. So now just I want to ask one question. We always just think about love and we need it very much, particularly in this world when we have catastrophe and also the problems around the world we are having. And at the same time, the people are fighting each other, the nations are fighting each other's, and also they're very, very much unwanted competitions we are getting in this global world. And in this world, people are now more divided nationally, culturally. We see it. We are just watching this, having this in this world. So this time, what do you think that how the love can play a good role or an important role for peace, harmony, or humanitarian cause? So what do you think? So first, I want to ask Alisa, would you please say something about this?
Yes,
That
I
this
can.
sort of, my question is that this sort of problems which we are just facing, how could we overcome for a peaceful world?
Maybe this time of pandemic is very good for humanity because it ordered us to stop for a moment and to think about our reality, our life, and what is important for us. And I think that generally we need friendship and love and tolerance and other values. So poetry is very important because we are writing about this and we try to say people stop for a moment, think about your life, about world, about our planet, about environment, because we can fight, we can quarrel, but now we must cooperate because we can live only together or die separately. It's my opinion.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, I got your point that this time, that they were, particularly during the pandemic, what we need to make us to come closer, that may help for the harmony and the peace in the world to just uphold peace and harmony if we come closer. And poetry can play a very good role. Yes, you have rightly said, Kubreska. Thank you very much. And now just I want to go to Caroline. Caroline will speak in French, I know, and I'll not understand it well, but I want to ask her to speak about love. What is the importance of love? Caroline, did you understand what is the importance of love during this pandemic?
Ah, vous voulez que je parle pour les pandémies? Ah, ok. Cette pandémie, malheureusement, c'était difficile pour le monde entier. Mais par contre, je trouve un petit peu si bien pour l'humanité qu'ils en approchent plus. L'humanité, elle était un peu agressive et c'était égoïste un petit peu. Et cette pandémie, elle approchait beaucoup du monde entier, l'humanité, les pays. Maintenant, on a des sentiments intérieurs, on a des choses, des trucs franchement importants pour les enfants, pour les animaux, pour toutes les choses. Il y a de côté, c'était franchement très difficile. On a perdu beaucoup de personnes, franchement, dans tous les pays entiers, pas que France, pas que Amérique, pas que Asie, pas que total global. C'était très, très difficile. Mais il y a des
Okay,
choses,
yeah.
voilà.
The same message.
But-
Okay, thank you very much,
Bah,
Caroline.
je suis désolée. Je suis très désolée, franchement, mais malheureusement, c'est l'anglais, c'est difficile pour moi. Bah, je crois que je parle pas anglais, c'est pas très terrible, mais bon, il n'y a rien à faire. Et vous savez pas parler ni en français et ni turc ni arabe. C'est pas ma faute. Il faut apprendre.
Okay, thank you very much,
C'est
Caroline.
moi.
Could you please? I got one comment from a person, and I'm showing this. It is in probably in Arabic. So, can you? Is it in Arabic or in Spanish?
Spanish.
Spanish.
Spanish. Can Bustas read it?
Bienvenidos a ustedes. Me honra conocer a todos los poetas. Enhorabuena a ustedes. Un abrazo a todos ustedes. All right. Welcome to everyone. I'm proud to know all the poets. Congratulations to yours. A big hug to all of you.
Thank you very much. What is his name or her name?
I don't know. It's written in Arabic. I don't understand.
It is in Arabic. Can
Yes.
Caroline read the name? Arabic name? What is the name of this person?
En arabe, ايش اسمك؟
What
ايش
is his name?
اسمك؟
Ismail.
وي ايش اسمه؟
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much that you have just for your this comment and watching our program. Okay. So now just I want to go to Tokic, because I know that he is living in a very troublesome part of the world, and every day there was, or maybe I don't know now, the fighting between the ethnic groups, and the hatred was there, very strong. So would you say something about the love and peace and harmony? Tokic, I know that you were very aware about these things. And so can you say something about love, war, and love for people? Tokic.
No talking.
My English is bad.
Okay. But
Translate.
okay.
Okay.
So you can speak
Sorry.
in your
Sorry.
language. You can speak in your language. We will just try to conceive
Sorry.
the emotion from.
Croatian. Bosnian.
You speak in your language. Your language. Tell something by 1 minute. Say something in your
I'm happy.
language.
I'm happy today.
Today.
Okay. The viewers, you can understand that he is not feeling good to speak about his language, but of course I know that he's a very nice guy, a very good poet, and poets are always for peace and harmony. They always speak about peace, harmony, and love. Not only the love for their beloved, special someone, for girlfriends or for boyfriends, not like that. They like this particular topic, the love, very much, for expressing their willingness, and good wishes. They want to express through poetry, and the topic must be their love. Okay, so tonight we are just concluding this session. And before conclusion, I just want to say the poets are really, I'm very grateful to you because you have come to this special reading session of poetry. And I hope that in future I will get you more. Okay, Bustas, would you like to say something, please?
I would like to thank to you because it's so beautiful to have a meet with all over the world, the poets all over the world, and it's beautiful to that modern all hateness, all the time, the very difficult times we're living. I'm lucky because I live in a country where we don't live a war in the last 80 years. But it's beautiful how to see. I don't know how to say it. At the end, love doesn't need institutions. Love doesn't need a military service. Love doesn't need doesn't need universe. Love exists, and it exists all over the instincts of hate and wars and war. We're made for love. We're not made for wars. We're not made for hate.
That's
And
right.
these beautiful meetings reminds me.
Okay, thank you very much. In fact, love doesn't need any institution or anything else, and we know that we are living in a world not peaceful, but poets will speak always. They speak in favor of peace, harmony, and love. So thank you very much to all of you, and I hope that you will continue your endeavor. You will continue to writing like this way for love, peace, and we can have a good world where we will live together peacefully. Okay. Good night to you all. Have good time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.